What's up, guys? Deuxième épisode de Réveille Tabarnak. Puis, qu'est-ce qui est le fun quand t'es pas monétisé sur YouTube? Tu peux mettre des tunes, tu peux mettre des extraits de films, tu peux mettre whatever. The shoes I got, yeah, that dude young not. Fuck shit up and turn the world upside down. Let me boost my stock, push a hand up on the doomsday clock. Yeah, that dude young not. Fuck shit up and turn the world. Was a conspiracy theorist way before the hype and the fervor. I'm honestly surprised I'm not suicide or murdered. I wrote lyrics to this beat that were exposing Pizzagate but couldn't find him. I guess Hillary's back to wiping the servers. Been a problem child, they always said I'm a little odd. Learned how to piss off people and made that shit a job. Une compilation de vidéos pour faire réveiller le monde. Réveille-toi tabarnak. Réveille-toi tabarnak. Réveille-toi tabarnak.
We get less than 5 years to stop them, or we'll never have another chance. They come right out and they tell us exactly what they're going to do. It's a one world government, one world cashless currency, one world central bank, one world military, social credit scores that the government can use to turn off your bank account. Vietnam just deleted 86 million bank accounts of people who refused to get their digital ID. They just deleted them. Wonder where that money went. If you're not paying attention, you probably don't know that England is putting people in prison for social media posts like memes and fucking comments. This is the trajectory that we're headed. Dude just got put in federal prison in England for saying that he didn't want his tax dollars prioritizing illegal immigrants instead of being used for the betterment of his own countrymen. Listen, if you...
En passant, ça s'en vient au Canada.
You don't start standing up and saying something like I am, this will be the end of national sovereignty. It will be the end of privately owned property. They're literally telling people in other countries that if you don't accept digital IDs, you're going to be excluded from society. That's what they're telling them. That means they won't allow you to board a train, to get on a plane, to go to work. They won't allow you to do the things that you would normally do if you don't accept their digital ID. I'm telling you that they won't allow you to pay your fucking mortgage without providing them a digital ID number. They'll take away your home for non-compliance. They'll disallow or remove your children from school. This isn't a joke. This is what's happening right now. We have less than 5 years to do something about it. If you don't recognize how serious this is, you're not paying attention. This is what they're doing. They won't allow you to register your cars. They'll turn you away from medical care. And they'll do all this while they're telling you that you're not being forced to do anything. It's your choice, right? Like it was your choice 5 years ago with the jab. Remember that? This is how they institute the new normal. This is how they end the family unit. This is how they force mandatory schmaxinations. This is how they introduce universal basic income. This is how they introduce microchipping, a global credit system. This is what they want. This is what they're building right now. And they're coming right out and they're telling you. Thousands of 5G towers, the end of private transportation, the end of private farms, businesses run by the government, travel restrictions, restricted land use. You think this is far-fetched? Take a look around and wake the fuck up. They already tested it in 2020 with the lockdowns, restrictions, fear campaigns, government-run media, and most people complied without a second thought. That was the dress rehearsal. That was the warm-up round. 2030 is their final act. But here's the thing. It was all supposed to go down in 2015, but they missed their deadline. So they pushed it back to 2020, and they missed that too. And what does that tell you? See, it tells me that we're much more fierce of an opponent than they ever realized. They didn't account for level-headed, logical thinking, like-minded brothers like us to dig our heels in and say, fuck you, but it's not good enough. And their efforts will only get more aggressive, more pronounced, and more relentlessly egregious towards dissenters. And here's the truth. If we don't fight back now, if we don't raise our voices, if we don't refuse to comply, if we don't build strength and unity in our own communities, then when the curtain drops, it's over. We won't get another chance. This is bigger than politics. This is about freedom. This is about sovereignty. This is about whether your kid and your grandkids get to live free or as digital slaves in a system that is designed to own.
Ça, guys, c'est vrai que leur agenda était supposé se produire bien plus vite que ça. Puis à cause du monde comme vous puis moi qui n'ont pas voulu embarquer dans leur histoire, ils sont obligés de repousser puis d'être de plus en plus agressifs. Tu sais, le convoi de la liberté à Ottawa, là, ça a l'air de rien, mais ça peut avoir changé bien les affaires. Je vous garantis que ça s'en vient, je l'ai prédit ça fait longtemps. Les prochains lockdowns, c'est des lockdowns climatiques et énergétiques. Ils commencent déjà à nous le faire.
The biggest lockdown since COVID is coming, and they won't warn you until it's too late. This is not about a virus. This is about an energy shock so severe it will freeze the global economy. As the Middle East war chokes the Strait of Hormuz, crude oil is surging past $175 a barrel, and the dominoes are falling. Let's look at the map. Europe is falling first. The UK and Germany rely heavily on imported gas. Without it, factories are halting operations and rolling blackouts have begun. In Asia, Manufacturing giants like Japan and South Korea are entirely dependent on imported fuel. They are actively rationing power and reducing train schedules right now. Even in the U.S., surging trucking costs mean fertilizer and food prices explode, while gas hits $7 a gallon. The grid is buckling. Soon, governments will use the exact same playbook from 2020. Australia is already telling citizens to avoid non-essential journeys. Next comes work-from-home mandates to save fuel. Then, restricted travel. In 2020, they called it a public health measure. In 2026, they will call it an energy conservation mandate.
Je vais vous parler d'une autre affaire aussi. Je sais pas si vous avez remarqué, là. Moi, j'habite quand même à campagne, là, mettons à 1 heure de se rendre dans l'est de Montréal. Quand le gaz ici était à 1,30 $, ça me coûtait 25 $ aller-retour avec mon auto, la même auto que j'ai en ce moment, pour aller dans l'est de Montréal. Là, le gaz est rendu à 1,80 $, puis j'étais allé en fin de semaine à la même place dans l'est de Montréal, puis ça m'a coûté 50 $. Comment que du gaz à 1,50 $ qui passe à 1,80 $, c'est pas le double. Le double, ça serait de 1,50 à 3 piastres. Là, le gaz, il a passé de 1,50 à 1,80, puis ça me coûte le double de gaz me rendre à la même place que ça m'en prenait il y a quelques temps. Fait que selon moi, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont commencé à faire, c'est qu'ils ont commencé à couper le gaz. Fait que tu as besoin de plus de gaz. Fait qu'en plus, ce qui est plus cher, tu en as besoin de plus. Tu as remarqué qu'avant, quand tu gazais là, à la pompe, ça sentait le gaz au bout, à cette heure, ça sent plus. Vous me direz si vous avez remarqué ça. Moi, le prix de mon gaz, le prix de mes déplacements, c'est x2 pendant que le gaz a augmenté juste de 30 cents.
The real possibility now. The world's energy watchdog has issued a global warning that the war in the Middle East is creating a major energy crisis.
Deuxième épisode de la compilation Réveille-toi et Tabarnak. Si tu t'es rendu jusqu'à là, pense à t'abonner. Laisse ton commentaire. Aussi, le nom de la chaîne, là, ça fait 2 fois que je le change. Fait que si vous avez aussi des idées, j'ai plein de bonnes vidéos pour vous autres. Si vous avez des idées pour la chaîne, envoyez-les.
Australia to act immediately. The International Energy Agency is advising us to work from home, to drive slower and to avoid air travel, much like we did during the pandemic, describing the current situation as the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market. Now, we are, of course, already seeing higher petrol prices at the pump, and we're now starting to see those flow-on effects into the travel industry, with major travel operators, including the airlines, start to hike their prices up. And there are now wider concerns in the tourism industry that people will stop booking holidays and trips due to a combination of those higher costs and wider fears and uncertainty about what is going on in the world. The real possibility now, the world's energy...
Ça, c'était en Australie. Ils ont commencé à dire au monde d'arrêter de se déplacer puis d'utiliser le moins d'énergie possible. Ça a déjà commencé en Australie. C'est tout le temps le test. Australie, puis après, ça s'en vient ici au Canada.
Le Forum économique mondial vient d'admettre une dinguerie publiquement. Le Covid, en fait, c'était un test grandeur nature pour mesurer ton obéissance. Et ça, c'est écrit noir sur blanc dans un de leurs documents. Tu te souviens quand on traitait les gens de complotistes quand ils disaient que le Covid, c'était pour voir jusqu'où les gouvernements étaient capables d'aller. Bah, il y a un document qui a été publié par le World Economic Forum. Ça décrit ouvertement le Covid comme un test en conditions réelles de la responsabilité sociale. Ils y parlent de la conformité aux masques, des confinements, des campagnes de vaccination et du traçage numérique. Et ils disent que c'est la preuve que des milliards de gens accepteront des consignes du moment qu'on leur dit que c'est pour le bien collectif. Bref, ce qu'ils ont vu, c'est que la majorité des gens obéissent sans se poser de questions. Et maintenant, ils sont en train de transformer ces données en un système de contrôle encore plus large. Identité numérique, traçage carbone. Donc c'était jamais une question de virus, les gars. C'était un test pour voir si t'allais obéir. Et maintenant, ils ont les résultats. La prochaine étape, c'est un système de crédit social numérique où tes comptes bancaires seront liés à ton passeport digital. Et si jamais tu te conformes pas à la prochaine urgence, cette fois, ils vont pas juste te demander de rester chez toi. Ils vont pouvoir bloquer ton accès au transport, bloquer ta capacité à acheter de la nourriture, ou alors couper ton portefeuille numérique instantanément. C'est pour ça que ce genre d'information, il faut le partager massivement. Abonne-toi pour ne rien rater.
Let me bring in John Coleman. He's in San Diego this morning. Thank you for being here.
It's nice to be on CNN. Hello to...
Écoutez bien qu'est-ce qu'il dit. Ça, c'est un gars qui a fondé le Weather Channel, comme le Météo Média du Québec, là. Puis il dit que le changement de climat, c'est absolument une crosse. Changement climatique.
All your viewers, I resent you calling me a denier. That is a word meant to put me down. I'm a skeptic about climate change, and I want to make it darn clear, Mr. Kinney's not a scientist. I am. He's the CEO of the Weather Channel now. I was the founder of the Weather Channel, not the co-founder.
And I'm glad you did, because I am addicted to the Weather Channel. I watch a lot of cable news.
Now, hold on just a minute. I'm not done. And CNN has taken a very strong position on global warming that it is a consensus. Well, there is no consensus in science. Science isn't a vote. Science is about facts. And if you get down to the hard, cold facts, there's no question about it. Climate change is not happening. There is no significant man-made global warming now. There hasn't been any in the past, and there's no reason to expect any in the future. There's a whole lot of baloney. And yes, it has become a big political point of the Democratic Party and part of their platform. And I regret it's become political instead of scientific. But the science is on my side.
I don't think we're going to come to a conclusion about the topic right here. What I do wonder, though, is when you see...
You wouldn't allow it to happen on CNN. But I'm happy that I got on the air and got a chance to talk to your viewers. Hello, everybody. There is no global warming.
What I do want...
Paye ta taxe carbone. Un sujet très intéressant, la glande pinéale.
Every human was born with a pineal gland, and that pineal gland is a sensory organ that sits in the middle of your brain. It serves as a receiver and a sender between you, the human being, and the universe. You can do anything with your mind. Everything that you see in its physical form came from the invisible spiritual realm first. So your mind is very, very strong. And how are you connected with that? Your pineal gland.
There will be a movement driven by big corporations to take the soul away from people, to disconnect people from the higher world. And in order to do that, we have to destroy the pineal gland in people. The pineal gland is the most sensitive part of our central nervous system and is highly, highly, highly sensitive to 4 things: aluminum, glyphosate, fluoride, and Wi-Fi.
This is something that the privileged elite know, that if they can just basically calcify your pineal gland.
Avez-vous compris à quoi c'est sensible? Aluminium, fluor et le Wi-Fi. Puis l'autre, je l'ai oublié, c'était quoi? Les pesticides?
They're going to keep you dumbed down. They're going to be able to control you. If they can keep the size and activity of your hippocampus small, they can control it.
The center of the human brain, the pineal gland, is slowly turning into stone. This process is called calcification. When it's calcified, you are stuck on a single low-frequency station, a station of lack. Calcite microcrystals exist on the pineal gland, and that these crystals can interact with electromagnetic fields.
They theorize that the interactions of these crystals with global system for mobile telecommunication waves could constitute a new mechanism of transduction of the pineal membrane. What this means in layman's terms is that our pineal gland is a cell phone.
That pineal gland is also sensitive and of the same frequency as microwave towers. What do you have being with your cellular phone? By you being exposed to that frequency. You've been exposed to electromagnetic bombardment, and your pineal gland has begun to shrink down and stop operating. And when you're a baby, that gland and your thymus gland are roughly the size of a walnut. If it has not been properly stimulated, it shrinks down to the size of a pea and stops operating.
When you have a highly acid diet, it causes deterioration to the pineal gland. Calcification of the corpus callosum, that's the part that divides your left brain and right brain in half. That little skin in there gets hard and stops the transmission between the left and right hemisphere. We have one mind that's from one God. And when you have deterioration of that dividing part, it gets very hard and it stops the messages from going back and forth. And they call it a melanin deficiency, which is caused by acid diet. It causes your pineal gland to not function.
Calcify your pineal gland, and your pineal gland is the radio antenna which connects the body to the mind. No, the mind is not the brain, and the spirit world is not out there or outside of you. The spirit world is simply the world inside the mind. You see, the mind is the bridge between the physical man and the spiritual man. Look at everything around you. Everything was imagined in the astral, the spiritual plane, then brought into physical existence. They do not want you having access to your imagination because this is the power that shapes your future. They do not want you a conscious creator. They want your mind stuck and locked in only your 5 senses, living in reaction and not becoming a commanding creator.
très intéressant. C'est très vrai, la glande pinéale puis les pouvoirs que ça a. Écoutez ça. Qu'est-ce que ce gars-là dit à propos des sports? Très vrai. Des pains et des jeux et du pain, hein?
This is exactly why I don't watch sports. There's a reason why the Romans used to say that if you want to keep people distracted, you simply give them bread and circuses. And it is because they knew that if people were fed and entertained, then they wouldn't question anything and they wouldn't think for themselves. And you see, modern day sports is the exact same thing. People yell at TVs, they memorize stats, they argue over other players, and they even wear another man's last name on their back to vicariously live through them. And you see all of these things happen because they want to keep us distracted and weak. Because when you have something great going on in your life, you simply do not have time to partake in bread and circuses. So you can either be your own biggest cheerleader and create something worth building, or you can live through other people and be a cheerleader on the sideline for them.
Tu sais, je vais vous avouer, moi, j'étais un fan de hockey. J'ai joué au hockey toute ma vie, j'adore ça. Mais je sais très bien que c'est pour nous garder distractés. Je n'ai pas le mot. Souvent, je pense en anglais, moi. En tout cas, c'est une distraction. C'est pour pas qu'on pense à d'autres choses. Fait qu'ils nous envoient des sports qui sont truqués, ils nous envoient des films, ils nous envoient de la musique de merde. C'est tout pour nous garder endormis.
It's all starting to make sense, bro. This interview lays it down perfectly, man. I've been wondering what's going on with people, because people are not real. Bro, lately something has been going on with people. It's like people are in a world of their own. They are not there. It's like the body is there, but the entity, the soul, the essence that was in that body is completely gone. Even the people I grew up with who know about this spiritual shit, like, they all changed completely. It's like somebody hit the switch. What?
Avez-vous remarqué? Dites-moi pas que vous avez pas remarqué, là. Dans le fond, lui, qu'est-ce qu'il dit, ce professeur-là? C'est qu'on n'est même pas 1 million de vraies âmes humaines sur la Terre, puis que tout le reste, c'est des non-playable characters, c'est des NPC. Ils sont pas là, puis ils n'ont pas d'âme. Puis il y en a beaucoup aussi qui avaient un âme avant, que maintenant on dirait qu'ils n'ont plus.
What is going on with people? But this guy right over here, he lays it down and let us know what's really happening, that there's only a few real people in this so-called simulation. Everybody else are literally NPCs.
At the very extreme, they believe that there's actually only 600,000 humans in this world. Everyone else is an animal. These 600,000 come from the splintering of the world soul, Adam Cameron. And what's important is to bring the 600,000 people back into Jerusalem to redeem them and repair the world. And everyone else in this not cares.
Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else you... So according to his studies, there's only about 600,000 real people here who are original, who are indigenous. And everyone else is just a Cabbage Patch NPC. And y'all can't tell me that doesn't make sense, because why is everyone acting soulless right now, bro? Have y'all been to the grocery stores, to your gas station, to the mechanic shop, to the coffee shop? Have y'all been to your local store? Have y'all been around? Now, I know the world is not the best place that it can be right now, but there is something missing in human beings. I know y'all notice it. Let me know down in the comments below, man. I told y'all.
Ouais. Moi, j'agree à 100% avec ça. Regardez ça. Demandez-vous pas pourquoi que les influenceurs là, qui sont payés par l'État pour faire de la propagande ou pour vos enfants, que ce soit les Mr. Beast de ce monde puis tout ça, ils ont des millions puis des millions puis des millions de views. Regardez ça.
Meu Deus do céu, são centenas.
Dados no YouTube, é uma fazenda de visualização.
Quem montou isso aqui gastou uma fortuna.
A gente precisa chamar o pessoal da inteligência agora.
O celular até o teto.
Ouais. C'est des gens de laboratoire avec toutes des tablettes puis des cellulaires qui réécoutent les mêmes vidéos en boucle pour donner des views. Imaginez ça. Fait que, guys, je vais vous laisser avec ça. Si t'as aimé aujourd'hui la compilation, abonne-toi, mets un like, commente-moi ce que t'en as pensé, puis je vais vous laisser avec un dernier vidéo qui est la bande-annonce d'un documentaire qui va sortir. Je vous passe ça.
You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated.
It was January 2022 when a colleague of mine in the unit came to me saying, something's up. We've had a doubling or tripling of baby deaths in the last year. Normally we have 2 or 3 a year. And that's what got my curiosity piqued.
It's terrifying to think that our own government told us a medical treatment was safe, and it killed babies.
I have lost all faith that Health Canada is looking out genuinely for the best interests of Canadians.
That baby actually had died in the parents' arms. So to me, that is suspicious. In 20 years of policing, I had never seen that happen.
The amount of effort that was put into shut down any conversation relative to the vaccination process is extremely troubling. They had wiretapped her phones. They had harassed her. They had charged her. They had convicted her. Time has shown us that that was only the tip of the iceberg.
If you believe in these vaccines and you adopt and you start to practice these rituals, you are going to also protect them. And because you have participated in them and it's part of who you are, like almost like any religion.
It unravels our understanding of ourselves. And that's why it's very hard for people to look in the mirror and look at themselves and understand that they have to reimagine their world. It takes a lot of courage and strength, and I don't expect for everyone to be able to do that.
Look what the government knew. Look what the public health officials knew. I know it now. It's all in these documents. There should be an investigation. Yet months later, I'm charged, and there's still no investigation.
We're seeing the illegal lengths that the government is going to protect itself and its own interests, as opposed to minding its civic duty and doing what the public voted it in to do.
They tried to deter every other police officer from speaking up and publicly supporting her as well, because somebody within the Ottawa Police Service leaked to CBC, leaked rumors, didn't even bother to leak the truth.
What concerns me deeply for Canadians is we've come to believe that what the CBC says is true. And the reason is there's 70 years of standing on the shoulders of the giants of journalism of Canada. And they used that to trick us.
It's about dominance hierarchy. And the way that these dominance hierarchies are maintained is that the dominant individuals keep the subordinates in their place by constant aggression.
If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train beside vaccinated people and put them at risk.
Detective Helen Gruss, in this disciplinary hearing, is the hub of a wheel. Everything emanates outward from this case, involving law enforcement, corruption, the judicial system, the pharmaceutical industry, our health agencies, how they work together, how they censored information, how safe and effective never was. It all ties together to this one case, and that's what makes it so dangerous.
En finissant, ben, oubliez jamais de réfléchir par vous autres mêmes. Prenez rien pour acquis de ce qui est dit sur ma chaîne, dans les vidéos que je fais des montages puis que je vous montre. Faites-vous votre propre idée. Moi, le but de ma chaîne, c'est d'apporter des éléments pour faire réfléchir le monde. Parce que je pense qu'on est rendu là. Des fois, le monde, ils disent hey, où la solution? Ben, il faut se réveiller. C'est une guerre spirituelle. Peace.
I can't tell you about the Matrix. All I can do is give you the red pill, and you got to see for yourself.